Hello, this is Bill Bryson with BWCACASTapos. We're out here at the edge of the Boundary Waters heading into Wood Lake. Our goal this evening is to get into the bottom of Hoist Bay at Basswood Lake up there and do a little winter camping. We still have beautiful sunshine in the sky, and it's supposed to be pretty warm this weekend, so we're going to see how that affects our trip. They say even up into the 40s, so we're going to hit the trail real quick and see if we can beat the sun a little bit. So this is my first real winter camping trip where we've brought in a tent with a stove. And actually most of my winter camping I did up in Alaska. So this will be my first time in the Boundary Waters. So I'm not accustomed to pulling a sled behind me. As you can see, we gotta labor up this hill here. It's a little bit to get used to having the sled kind of tug back against you a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure once we get across the lake or onto the lake, it'll be pretty much a steady go. And conversely, when you come to a hill, the sled would like to join you at the front. So it ends up sliding between your legs here, like this. And as you saw Tony did earlier, he just hopped on and I don't know if that's really the kosher way to go about doing that, but it works out pretty well. Finally made it out to Wood Lake. It was just about a 180 rod portage from the entry point there onto the lake, and it's beautiful out still. The sun is just starting to drop behind the horizon over here. We're going to get scooting across the lake and see if we can get on our way into Hula and Good Lake and hopefully into the bottom of Basswood so we can set up camp for the night. Obviously at this point we're going to be walking in some darkness later on, but it's just gorgeous out. The temperature is perfect. I mean, I'm just wearing my long johns basically out here. It's almost like summertime. But we're having a great time, and we'll see you on down the trail. We're walking through the edge of this slough at the edge of Wood Lake, and there's some really pretty wind-blown snow on either side of the trail, and just some scraggly old pine trees or spruce trees all around us. We're about ready to come out of this little marshy area and open right up into Wood Lake. So we're making pretty good time. Really enjoy being out here in the wintertime. That there's only 2 of us pulling sleds. The reason behind that is not because we voted the weakest link off, but rather because I forgot dinner in the car. Tony's running back to get it. across Wood Lake right now. It's a little bit slower going with a couple of sleds hooked to you. I think we're about halfway across right now, and what we're going to try to do is head up around to the left of this little point here. There's supposed to be a little portage there that'll get us through instead of having to walk all the way around the right side of that peninsula that sticks out the top of Wood. So hopefully we can cut off a little distance there. If we're wrong, then we have to backtrack a little bit and work our way around that point. But I think it should be good to go. There is rumored that there might be a little bit of slush to contend with there, so we'll assess that when we get there. But for now, we're just working our way across the lake. The sun has dipped behind the horizon now, and we're left with just a sunset to look at, which is nice. But we've got our eyes out to see when the moon's going to come up and provide us with a little bit more light. Otherwise, we're going to have to don our headlamps and continue on that way. It's right at dusk right now, and off on the horizon, right at the edge of the lake, we saw something booking right across. It was really far away, but it looked like it could have been a wolf or a coyote or something about that size, and it was just kind of lurking along the edge of the lake, kind of around the side of us. We'll see if it reemerges, but at this time of light, I don't think I'll be able to get anything for you guys to see. But it's pretty cool having some animals around. Just kind of to talk about some of the things we have. We're in a canvas tent. It uses a aluminum pole frame that kind of holds it all up. You can see the aluminum poles in the corner and up into the ceiling. We've got a Coleman lantern with for some light at night, and the stove that we're using is a titanium stove. It's super light and it's pretty robust. It lasts through some pretty hefty heat changes, so they're super nice to have. You can see the stovepipe going up through the tent there, and they've got some fabric there that is heat resistant so that you don't burn your tent down. On the side of the stove there is a little platform for kind of keeping things warm, simmering it while you've got the fire going. Pot of water, you know, whatever you want. But Tony is down in the stove there trying to get that going for us.
Feel the heat yet? It's quite nice last night, huh?
The bottom of this tent doesn't have a floor in it, so we brought a tarp along and put that down. On top of the tarp, we're using what we like to use is like a closed cell foam, so that can keep a nice barrier between the cold snow below you and yourself, and then on top of that you put your thermarest, so you kind of have two layers below you. Really, in the wintertime, the majority of the cold that you're dealing with is coming from below you, so it's always important to insulate beneath you more so than the top of you. Even if you're outside camping outside of a tent, it's a good idea to put most of your insulation layers underneath yourself. And that way you can try to stay as warm as possible. I know I've talked to some people that have done cold camping, and they say, you know, take all of your clothes and lay them down beneath you in the ground, and try to create as much insulation there as possible. Sleeping was really nice last night. It didn't get too chilly, and we stayed nice and warm in here even though we didn't get a fire going. And it's just been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting out today and kind of looking around and seeing what our little camping area looks like in the daytime.